There are a lot of operating committee members. You have camp at your disposal. We have college visits scheduled from now through December, first time ever, maybe in the Kansas City School District, Mr. Bruner, let alone the early college high school, to every single one of these schools. I think we had Mount Union this past Friday. Went extremely well. I'm so excited the feedback that we're getting. These are all huge opportunities for you to take advantage of. And so I hope you feel that you're fortunate to have this. So panel. CAM stands for CAST Apprenticeship and Mentorship Program. So it's career training and development, okay? But the more I got involved, 4.5 years old, the more I got involved, the more important education became to myself, to my operating committee, and to the camp program. I do, starting in their junior year, I start to spend 15, 20 minutes with them doing interviews. They're really kind of discussions, career discussions. What do you want to be when you grow up, kind of thing. What are you doing for the summer? Do you have transportation? What's your career interest? What colleges are you looking to go to? So I spend probably 4 or 5 of those personal interviews with the students. Normally Mrs. Bruner or Mr. Trenga or even Mr. Bruner will be with me. And when I start questioning them about colleges and where they want to go, let me tell you some of the answers I get. Okay, so this might help you as we get into the Q&A. I need to get away from here. My friends told me it's a good school. My relative went there. My parents want me to go there. I like their school colors, believe it or not, was one of the answers. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't all of these students, and by the way, this is our special students that are in the camp program. But a lot of them have done their research, they have their act together. But I get a wide variety of responses. Now, mind you, I could go back 2-3 years ago, and Mr. Bruner could go to his 60, 65 seniors and go, how many of you have visited the University of Akron? And we might get 8 students, 8 to 10, even visited the college. So we made leaps and bounds, right? I am really interested in all of those things because I need to know what careers they're focused on. The jobs I have, for instance, West Medical, it's a doctor's office. I personally know 2 of the doctors that run the practice. We have 6 students working there right now, part-time, during college. So I need to know all of this information if I'm going to make the link. Most of these students want nursing, they want to be in healthcare, and it's important I make those links. We have liaisons with these students while they work and while they go to college. We link the liaisons to the students. I'll give you, for instance, we have a student that's interested in psychology. We have a member right here of my operating committee, a former camp student, that majored in psychology. We're hooking them up as liaisons so they can talk about how to go about their career path and what they're looking for, okay? Shadowing opportunities. I have 2 students that are interested in financial planning, so in the spring, they will do a day in the financial planning office. We have engineer for a day. Our students spend a day working at Timken, Goodyear, Smuckers, other companies, if they're interested in engineering, so we need to link them up. We also were fortunate enough to get 2 grants and 50 early college high school students have free driver's education last year, and we've already helped secure 4 cars for students, and we're working on another one right now. So it's really important that I go through this, but education always bubbles to the top because it's the next step, okay? Now we do have, I just sent out the list, we do have 40 students that are in college, 40 or 45 graduates at camp. They all have a liaison. Once a month, they need to personally talk to their liaison. They need to submit their semester grades to Mr. Bruner. They need to come to 2 sessions during the summer if they're home from college. And they need to come to the holiday celebration. That's how you stay in camp. If they do that, we'll continue to help them write their resumes, do interviewing skills, network them for possible jobs, and help them get part-time jobs while they're in school. So that's what we offer from camp, but education is right up there. So thank you all for coming. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Trainer, who's going to help run the panel discussion, right? Thank you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and keep this brief because I know we were running a little bit behind. I'll take responsibility for that, but I just have to give one more shout out to this group that's behind me because I'm new into this position, as you guys, I think a lot of you know, and I was calling them or emailing them, and within 24 hours, even a lot of them sooner, we're right back saying, how can we help? What can we do? So this is a dedicated group of individuals, and to have this much expertise, as Mr. Rentorella said, right here on the stage behind me, this is amazing. You guys are getting, what an opportunity. I wish I had this when I was a little bit younger. But so I want to thank you guys one more time. You're fantastic that you responded as quickly as you did, and positively. So yes, absolutely. And then the last thing, before we get this thing kicked off, check your emails. And I think 16 of you already did do your email, and I sent a Google form that was asking you about your career preferences. If you could please go in and check your email, and if you see an email from Dennis Trainer asking for some information, if you could fill that out, I would really appreciate it. That helps Mr. Venturella and the team so that we can look at, see what kind of careers you're interested in, and we can put you with the right people. All right, so if you could do that, I would really appreciate it. I think we only have 7 more to go, and then we'll have our whole team here done. So thank you. And I'm going to, as a newbie, I'm going to rely on my good friend, Mr. Bruner, to help us with the panel discussion and the technology part of it, until I get myself around.
And that shows a powerful leader. Mr. Trainer went ahead and took the blame for that. That was me. I got started a little late getting a computer set up and getting Solo set up. So if you can go up to, well, get on your phone, and I need you to go to, you can just type it in under your, if you have a data package, just go ahead and look for sli.do. That's all you need to type in. And then it's going to take you to a home page. So I guess I should have told you to bring your computer or your iPad. That would have been smart. And then you're going to type in just 1492. I already started by throwing a question there, and then I'm going to give this back to Mr. Trainer so that he can go ahead and help out with facilitating questions that are asked out. I'm going to go get a mic to go ahead and run that. But you guys just go ahead and log in, just use your smartphone or whatever, and you go to sli.do, and that way you can either ask questions verbally, or you can go ahead and use your phone or your iPad to ask the questions.
Yeah, so if you don't have a phone or an iPad, we'll get a microphone and I'll run it around as you have questions.
guys field these questions as you see fit. Unless it's specific to your account.
Yeah.
Microphone.
Oh.
Just repeat the question and then help with the answer, please.
Anybody?
Anybody who would like to take the question? Or multiple people who would like to.
Good morning, good afternoon. I'll take the question which started on pre-law as mentioned. Kent State University does offer a pre-law. Kent State University does offer a pre-law program at the university. So, I think we'll get into that particular college. They have a 3.3 GPA score, which is on the ACT. But also remind us of some setbacks in Akron. Akron has University of Akron has a law school.
That's correct. We do have a,
No. There you go.
there we go. The University of Akron does have a law school on our campus as well as a 3+3 program, so you can actually do 3 years of your undergrad right on campus and then move into our law school while you're there.
Cleveland State also has a law school and a 3+3 program as well.
The University of Mount Union has pre-law, and then we also have a partnership with the University of Akron's law school. So you can actually do your first 3 years at the University of Mount Union, and then transition into the University of Akron for their law school.
Walsh University also has the pre-law program 3+3 with the University of Akron.
And same with Youngstown State, we have 3+3 with the University of Akron as well.
Well, we don't have the connection with Akron. We are pre-law, but you would have to say that you're part of the pre-professional program, and then like actually major in something else. So it's like maybe criminal sort of justice law, fulfilling those requirements for whatever grad school you're interested in.
Hiram College does have a pre-law program. We're not affiliated with any law school directly, but similar to a colleague down there on the end, you will also, your pre-law program will be highly affiliated with our political science department, political science major.
I'll take a question. This is Jackie Johnson from Youngstown State University, and someone asked, how do you help guide students to grad school? And I think that's a really intriguing question to ask, because a lot of students aren't thinking beyond, getting their bachelor's, and that's a wonderful thing to start thinking about. And a number of our programs are seamlessly into the grad school. For instance, any major in the School of Business is designed to go right into, seamlessly if you choose to, our MBA program. Same with our degree in psychology. You can go all the way, get your terminal degree in psychology at YSU, meaning you can get your bachelor's, your master's, and then your PhD in psychology, so you can keep on all the way through. Another really intriguing program about YSU that we have that can help a student be really prepared for a master's program or a grad program is our physical therapy program. And in physical therapy, we like undergraduates to major in either biology, psychology, or exercise science. Either 3 of those majors, if you say you want to do pre-physical therapy, will get you right prepared to be admitted into the physical therapy program, which gives preferred admissions preference to YSU grads.
I'll take a question. There is a question. Are there any scholarships available for early college students specifically? At Malone, we do not have one for early college students specifically, but we do have one for Stark County students. We only get about 10 of these a year, but pretty much if you apply and are eligible for a B-loan, or not for a B-loan, scholarship, then Malone pays for everything, full coverage as far as tuition. The only thing you have to pay for is your room, board, and your books. There are only 10 of these scholarships available, but we don't have a lot of people from Stark County apply because, like Mr. Ruber said, people just want to get away. That's why a lot of these open schools up here, like, we're awesome schools. We actually had 2 of these left over with the incoming class of 2021, which means we could have had 2 more students from Stark County or early college apply and get those, and we did not. So, not early college specifically, but for Stark County students, yes.
actually going to jump back to that grad school question. Sorry if anybody wanted to move on to a different one, but many of our programs, many of our students that graduate with a bachelor's degree do choose to go on to either a master's or some sort of terminal degree, PhD, what have you. Our biomedical humanities program does have 5 slots per graduating class with a direct admission into the NeoMed MD program. So there are options available in terms of psychology. Many of our students do choose to move on to a master's degree normally, and that's a conversation you'll have with your academic advisor. Graduate school is something that they're very helpful with in writing recommendations, helping you make a pick, and figuring out a career path.
I'll hop on and answer both of those questions, I guess. Cleveland State has a lot of 4+1 programs, so what that means is you take your, you do 4 years for your bachelor's degree, you get your master's degree in 1 additional year. We offer that with all of our engineering majors, with psychology, and with business. We also have a pre-professional department, very similar to the CAMP program. You'll have an academic advisor that helps you with your classes, but you'll also have a pre-professional advisor that helps you with the outside of the classroom experience, whether that be getting internships, co-ops, shadowing experiences within the hospitals. When you go to apply to grad school, they help you, they do mock interviews, they help you sit down and write the essay, and review it with you, making sure it's directed towards what grad schools are looking for. As far as scholarships specifically for early college students, we don't have any specific scholarships directed towards them. We do have the 3rd lowest tuition for public schools in the state of Ohio for 4 institutions. So we are very competitively priced, and we do offer scholarships ranging up to $6,000 a year, which covers about 2/3 of our tuition based off of ACT and SAT scores. We also waive all general education requirements for students graduating with an Associate of Sciences. So I know many of these students here are going to be graduating with the Associate, so you would not be required to take any of our general education requirements at Cleveland State.
Back to the scholarships. KIT offers 6 different scholarships, major scholarships that KIT offers. They're all based on the SAT scores and high school GPA, based on a 3.25 GPA and scoring at least a 20 or 1 on the ACT and the SAT. But we also have a scholarship match program. I know that you all get a partial scholarship from early college. From time you get you all a scholarship. KIT will match that scholarship up to $1,000. So any money, all money helps no matter where you get.
Just talking about scholarships again, I'm from Walsh, I'm Morgan. Every student that gets accepted to Walsh automatically gets a scholarship, and it's based on your ACT or SAT and your GPA, and it ranges from $8,000 to $15,000, depending on where you fall in that range. And then after you get accepted, if you take the ACT again and it increases, or at the end of your first semester your GPA increases, you can resubmit and still upgrade into levels. So even if you fall into a merit scholarship that's lower than what you would like, you can still improve and upgrade to up to $15,000 automatically. That's before financial aid. And typically at Walsh Financial Aid, whoever your admissions counselor is, which most likely we need, that's who you kind of go over financial aid with and everything like that.
I'll echo a lot of what Walsh just said. For financial aid questions, they'll come to me. I'll be the admission counselor. In terms of scholarships, Hiram offers anything from $1,000 up to the full cost of tuition. It just depends on, they're all merit-based, so GPA, SAT, ACT score, those sorts of things.
Similarly, at the University of Mount Union, our scholarships range from about $10,000 up to $18,000 per year, along with the additional opportunity to compete for full tuition based on specific academic criteria. And then we offer Minority Achievement Award students for anybody who identifies as an American minority. And then we also have scholarships where students can earn up to half tuition for visual and performing arts. So you can come in and audition for additional scholarship opportunities in those areas, even if you are not a major within that area.
So at the University of Akron, we offer our Akron Guarantee Scholarship, and you're automatically considered for it when you apply to UA. It guarantees that you keep your scholarship for 4 years as long as you maintain good academic standing. And as you go through your 4 years, you get an increase in your scholarship. So after your first year, you get an additional $1,500 $1,500. After your second year, you would have an additional $1,000 on top of that. After your third year, an additional $1,000 on top of that. So as you go through school, we reward you with additional scholarships. And those are based off of your GPA and ACT. So the minimum is going to be a 3.0 GPA and a 20 on ACT.
Just to, like, our Mullins program is very similar to Akron and Opinions. And actually launched. So right now, this is our first year we're beginning with Super Score so that we're able to grant students more scholarship money. So in order to be admitted to the institution, you actually have like a 2.0, like an 18 or your ACT. We also take the highest SAT score. Scholarships range from $7,000 to $17,000. And those are just like the academic scholarships. So we will stack them if we need to as far as athletics and things like that. Other additional scholarships you're able to get, like Eric here said, if you come to audition for our theater department or music department, if you're involved in creative writing or in our arts programs, you're also eligible for another $1,000 scholarship. In order to keep your, those scholarships, you actually have to like stay in those programs, but in order to keep like the academic scholarship that you're awarded once you are into the program, you don't really have to do anything to maintain that, that's just given to you. Something else I was going to say, but I completely blanked, so I'm sorry.
All right, so a question about video game. Kent does offer a major in video game design. It's offered at the Kent campus and also at the Tuscan World campus. Whether the coding question that you're asking, that would be a computer science.
Someone asked a question about how, and I think these questions are similar. Can you walk us through how to apply for classes and how would a 3+3 program? Oh, okay. Oh, I see the question. Okay. So when you register for classes, there's some terminology, and I think that's something that all of us are really not good at explaining to students. We use a lot of jargon. We use a lot of word terms that make sense to us but may not make sense to you. So when you go to college, you don't apply for classes, you register for classes. And you go to a fun little place on campus called registration, or the Office of Registration. So it's called registrar, something called registration. And you register for classes that way. And my colleague here, Hiram, mentioned your academic advisor. And your academic advisor is, one, they're going to be your new best friend in college. Okay, they are your new best friend. You need to get to know their name. You need to know where their office is. You need to make sure that they know who you are. It hurts my heart when I talk to students and they say, oh, who's your academic? They ask a question about, I said, who's your academic advisor? Who's your academic advisor? Say, I don't know, who is that? The person that you're supposed to be talking to help you graduate in 4 years, maybe 3, if you're really on top of it. So get to know that person. So your 3+3 programs and how would your credits come in, that's something you really talk to your academic advisor about. That person's going to sit with you and not only going to help you pick which classes you need to take and what kind of, and make sure you're on the right sequence. A lot of you want classes in the medical field, and that's wonderful. Most of those medical professions, most of those medical majors are really highly structured. At YSU, nursing is highly structured. It's designed to get you in and out in 4 years. There's no repeats. There's no failing. There's no, I think I'm going to take a semester off and just, I don't know, do something. Not when you're in those kind of programs. Your academic advisor will keep you on track. You need to talk to them, and they will be able to calculate your credits, what you have coming in, what we will accept and what we won't accept. For the most part, we do accept all of your credits when you apply to university. But once you get into a program, it's up to the department about whether or not they accept that class or not. That's why I'm sure that your advisors here told you, keep your syllabus, hang on to that, keep your coursework, so you can prove that, yes, I took this chem class, but you need to accept this credit, Youngstown State, which we probably will, but things like that. So I know we use a lot of jargon, so if we use a word or a phrase that we don't understand, make sure you put it here on the question so we can further explain.
I'll piggyback off of that. When you apply to Cleveland State University, we do what's called a transfer credit evaluation within the first 2 weeks of receiving your transcript. We also have a tool called Grad Express Degree Audit, so it'll apply all the credits that you've taken into a degree at Cleveland State, so you can see exactly how far away you are from the degree that you're looking to achieve. We also have a what-if function on that degree audit system, so if you're thinking about doing maybe mechanical engineering, or maybe you want to do physics, you can switch the major, and it'll reapply your credits to each major, and you can see how close you are for each different major that you're looking to go into.
I'm going to take a stab at a lot of these different questions. One of them was about course rigor and how that's factored into your GPA. At Hiram College, we use your weighted GPA for admission and scholarship decisions. So if your transcript doesn't come in with a weighted GPA, we will work with your guidance office, or we'll get the formulas and we will make sure it gets weighted, because that's how we make our determinations. We also, for the ACT, I know a lot of you have asked about what's a good ACT and SAT score. As long as you have above a 2.8 GPA, we are test optional for the ACT. Some of our programs, our nursing department, for example, still requires an ACT score and certain sub-score components to it as well. And our two highest scholarships will still require an ACT or SAT score. And one was mentioned, what are the scholarships and what are the deadlines? Our highest tier scholarship is 3/4 of the cost, or is the full cost of tuition. The second one is 3/4 the cost of tuition. And we do not have deadlines for these scholarships. Once you apply for Hiram College and you are accepted and we send you that letter, it will have the automatic highest scholarship that you are qualified for, and then our two highest ones will move on to a holistic application view, where a committee will sit down and determine those recipients.
There was a question here regarding education and math and engineering. So education is actually one of Malone's largest majors. Students who, in the novice talk from the math perspective as well. If you come to Malone, you graduate in 4 years if you're an education major, and you're able to teach pre-K through 5th grade. And then you also have something where you can study special ed education, where you're trained to help students who just have learning disabilities or things like that. If you would like to teach math, you can also graduate within 4 years, double majoring in math and education. A lot of those classes cancel out, and you're actually able to teach pre-K through 12th grade. As far as engineering, we only have one engineering program right now. It's a co-op with Akron. So it's a 2-year program, so you do 2 years at Malone and do 2 years at Akron. I'm sorry, it's a 5-year program. If you do 2 years at Malone and do 2 years at Akron, you graduate within 4 years, you get 2 degrees. One, your bachelor's of science and your bachelor's of engineering. And then your 5th year is a 1-year automatic paid internship. 96% of those internships turn into full-time jobs. Salaries are about $60,000. So that's the questions for education, math, and engineering.
I'll piggyback on that too about what majors. I guess that's what you're asking about, what majors that your school is going for. One is Ken had probably one of the only few flight programs in the state of Ohio, actually probably like 4 flight schools. We keep measuring flight technology, or even major aerospace engineering. We also have a program for air traffic control. What we're known for is flight nursing, fashion design. Ken had one of the fashion design schools in the world, architecture. Ken has campuses overseas also, so we have a campus in Florence, Italy. So we can study abroad, that's part of our study abroad program. We also have for those students that major in fashion, we have a campus in New York City also, so we go to New York City. We also have a program where kids, incoming freshmen are actually going over Florence, Italy, and study their first semester in Florence, Italy, the campus there. Again, architecture, nursing, flight, education, sports administration, anybody's thinking about the sports administration program, we have a very good sports administration program also. That's just a name of a few of the 286 million.
I'm going to touch on the question about the social aspect on campus. For Walsh, since it is a smaller university, it is more of a community feel, a closer friend-based aspect, I guess. So everybody's pretty social on campus. We have a university programming board that throws 6 to 7 events every week. So there's always something to do on campus. There's always something going on, and it's kind of you almost know everybody, and everybody's a friendly face.
Malone, we are similar to Walsh. People actually apply to Malone, apply to Walsh. It's the same thing, you can ask almost any student, like, what's the feel like on campus, very communal style. We have about 1,700 students, so we're large enough to where you don't know everyone, but small enough to where you could if you wanted to, if you want to be that social. And again, we have over 60 programs that you can actually join. But if you don't have something that you want, feel free to start your own.
We're one of the smaller Division I schools in the state. I would say YSU students. So it's a lot larger than say Walsh. It's not as close knit. However, students are expected to jump in and get as involved as you feel like you need to get involved as. One thing I like about YSU is that we have a vibrant Greek life, but it's not one of those colleges where if you're not in Greek life, you don't have a social life. So you can be involved in Greek life or not, you still have plenty of things to do at YSU.
There's always something to do with Kent. I can say that Kent is one of the largest universities in the state. We have approximately about 20,000 students in the main campus. We have a total of about 39,000 students. We have 7 other campuses. Then we'll just hire probably over 1,200 programs in a year, 300 student organizations on campus also, just like all most of the major universities. The organization, if you want to start your own organization, you can start your own organization. Also on campus, and also our student leaders, some of them are actually compensated for a different position for them. So if you're a student government position, you're a student compensated. Like in terms of getting anywhere from student government, it's like half of the tuition paid by the university. If you're a small organization, like Black students or something like that, it's also probably like a fourth of the tuition paid from the university. Again, there's always something to do with it, but anyway, and I tell you, at any college, there's always something to do. That's what you made. One of the questions about people, social and antisocial, again, it's one you make it. But everybody's not outspoken, or everybody's not speak to you all the time. And I think that all of the campus believe in the First Amendment right in terms of free speech. It has known for a lot of controversy, but I think that a lot of college campuses have some of those free speech zones. We have safe zones on campus also. We have transgender students in the LGBTQ organization, there's safe zones for you also. So again, no matter what you are, what your beliefs in, there's a safe zone for your own campus. And I think that's all on any campus or any university. One of the things I want to say when we work in political, which is one of the things, is that a lot of the campuses, or a lot of our campuses, are suffering in terms of our international students. I know from Kent, we're down 800 international students. That amount is about $14 million in terms of what we lost. So again, we are a welcoming campuses, it's all campuses, every university that's up in terms of the representation. So we welcome all people of color, all people from all nations. I think at Kent we have people from about 150 nations. We have professors from about 85 nations teaching at the university. That's not just at Kent, that's at all universities. So we welcome anybody, any community.
I really want to echo off of that because I think you hit the nail on the head with how open all of our campuses are, and that really ties into the social aspects of our campus. Hiram College, we're small, only 1,100 students, but we're a very close-knit community. It's very open. We're very diverse. We have students from anywhere from 30 different nations on any given year. We're experiencing the same thing, though. Our international student population has declined due to the current political situations, but it hasn't made us any less open. We still want everybody. It's a great environment to be in if you're looking for a small school.
To touch a little bit on the student life part. So at the University of Akron, there's over 300 organizations for students to choose from. And in my experience, I'm a two-time alum from the university. The more that you get involved, the better off you're going to be. The busier you are, the more productive you end up being, the more people you end up meeting. And I think everybody up here can also agree that, like, when you go, keep an open mind, because you're never done growing. You come to school to get education, but you also come to grow as an individual, and joining student organizations is a really great way to do that. It's also a really great way to make you feel a lot more connected on campus and find a lot of resources.
Just piggyback off of what they were talking about as far as diversity. I would like we hear exactly what they were saying, but more from like the religious aspect. I get students all the time who apply to Malone who say they're not Christian, so they don't know if they're able to attend Malone. You're more than welcome to attend. It's actually like the opposite of Christianity to pursue Malone because you're not a Christian. So we have a large Catholic population on campus. We have had Muslim students graduate from the past on campus. We have even had students who don't really identify with Catholic God or who are agnostic who also apply to our university and graduate. So.
One of you asked the question, how hard is it to participate in a sport or club while doing well in classes at your college? So the answer to that, I'm going to answer that kind of with another question. It really depends on you and how well you can handle managing your time and weighing your social life with your athletic life, with your academic life. It all kind of depends on you. Now I will say, there are some majors that are less conducive to having someone be an athlete as others. It's not impossible. Actually, my dentist, funny story, my dentist, who just graduated from dental school a couple years ago, was a football player at Youngstown State. We're a Division I school, so our football team is kind of a big deal. And he was a university scholar. He received one of the full tuition and board scholarships when he was in the honors college. He was also pre-dentistry. So, and he was also a starter on the football team. So he wasn't just on the football team and not starting. He was on the football team practicing at their 6:30 in the morning practices, 3 o'clock in the afternoon practices. He was in pre-dentistry. He was in the honors college, which had its own community service component to it. So, but he's an incredibly organized guy. He was able to do that. It really depends on you and how well you are able to manage all the aspects of each of the things you choose to get involved with.
I would also say, I mean, it's all about time management. A lot of you are in early college, so you're kind of getting that, how to organize and spend your time. But we always recommend getting involved in college. Even if you don't play a sport, get involved in a club, maybe one that goes with your major, one that, is more fun to you, whether that be like, I don't know, pizza club or something like that. Anything that's fun, and then, maybe a nursing club that goes with your major. Because studies show that students who are involved outside of the classroom do much better inside of the classroom. You have to give yourself a healthy balance from doing schoolwork all the time and also having fun with your friends and doing things outside of the classroom. Because if you're only focused on your studies 24/7, you're going to go crazy. So definitely get involved outside of the classroom. That's really important.
Yeah, I'll agree with what they said. It's easy to get involved and do athletics if you've got the ability for the time management aspect of it and your determination to do well in your classes. As well as in your athletics, but especially at Hiram College, we have a lot of resources available if you're behind academically. Especially if you're an athlete, the coaches will make sure you do not get behind academically. They're in contact with your professors, they're in contact with your academic advisor to make sure that you are doing well, and if you need resources, they point you in the direction. Our on-campus tutoring, maybe extra office hours with a professor to help you get your grades where you want them and where your coach wants them. So you can do both. It's more work, but it's worth it in my mind.
Sticky.
Just real quick, back about athletics is that since Ken Youngstown, we said it was Division I school. I don't know what the other schools are, but you're only allowed to have, NCAA only allows you to do 20 hours a week in terms of your school. I think that doesn't apply to my university. There's only 20 hours a week that you actually can apply to your sport. That's in terms of practice, working out and all that. They don't have to completely involved. But you also have the assistance of those athletic departments in terms of there's an advisor for you. So you spend the majority of the time asking in the classroom or you asking in class practice.
With athletics, there was also a question about how to, or who to speak to about participating in athletics, and I think it will vary by institution and institution type. I'm sure the recruitment for a Division I school is going to be different than what it does for Division III at Mount Union. But for Mount Union, we offer a recruitment form on our website that you can access through the athletics page, and that information gets sent directly to the coaches. And oftentimes they will reach out individually to you after that to talk about maybe setting up a visit or coming to one of your games, doing things like that. So you actually work directly with the head coach of each of the athletic teams at Mount.
I'll go ahead and answer the two most popular questions on there. Do your dorms have AC? Cleveland State University has AC in all of our dorms. We actually have no community restrooms as well, so 2 people to a restroom in all our dorms. They're all very nice. And then cost per credit hour, we do have a cost per credit hour. I think it's like $401. We also have that tuition band. So if you're a full-time student, it's the same price for students between 12 and 18 credit hours at Cleveland State. So anybody taking between 4 and 6 classes pay the same price. It's $9,696 per academic year.
And same with Ohio, or Youngstown State, and probably Kent and Akron, all the state schools. We do have something called the bulk tuition rate. So you're incentivized to take up to 18 credit hours at the same price as someone taking 12 credit hours. And then someone asked a question, can you explain the price difference in full-time classes during the fall and spring semesters versus part-time or online classes during the summer? Yes, but it's a really long conversation, and it's complicated, and it just depends on a whole number of factors. But the point is, why are summer classes so much more expensive? Because they're in a more concentrated time. You're not, instead of 16 weeks, you're doing a summer class for 8 weeks. Some are 12 weeks, between 8 and 12 weeks. It depends on the class. It depends on which professor is teaching it. It depends on the major. It depends on the answers. It depends. So if you can take a summer course, if you can afford it, I encourage you to do that. Don't do it before your freshman year. I suggest you do it in between. Once you get a feel for how your semester is going to go. And it can help you. It can keep you on track for graduation. And it can help you accelerate your time a little bit. Or you might be able to take something that's a little, maybe an elective, something that's a little more fun class. But know that there is going to be a price difference. And sometimes financially covers it, and sometimes it doesn't.
For Hiram College, you can take a maximum of 18 credit hours per semester, and that is covered within your cost of tuition. If you want to take more than that, you have to get authorization from the deans of the college to do that, because it's not really advised. That's a lot of work. You can take summer and online classes, but it depends. There's a lot of factors that go into what the cost will be, if the course is available, and those things. And with the tuition and the 18 credit hours, Hiram offers a tuition guarantee. So the tuition that you come in with your first year will be the tuition that you have your senior year. It's not going to increase, it's not going to change over those 4 years.
ROTC programs. Ken does have the Army and ROTC programs. The Army and the Navy, Army and the Air Force, ROTC programs. And they also offer scholarships for those programs also, especially if you take their courses.
Akron also has the ROTC program as well, which additionally also offers those ROTC scholarships.
I saw a question about if we guarantee housing for all 4 years and about community bathrooms. So at Walsh, every dorm that we have on campus is suite style, so there's no community bathrooms at all. We have 2 freshman dorms that are typical dorms, just regular beds in the room, and then you share a bathroom with one other room. But all of our sophomore through senior dorms are all apartment style. So if you want to live on campus all 4 years, you're guaranteed to live on campus all 4 years, but if you want to move off campus, you can do that too. So yeah.
So at YSU, we have some more traditional residence halls where it's 2 to a room, 3 to a room, bathroom down the hall. We have some that are suite style, so it's 2 in one suite, 2 in another, and the 4 of you share a bathroom, so you're kind of sharing a bathroom. And then there are some private rooms. They are really hard to get a hold of, really, really hard to get a private room. We also have some residence halls on campus that are apartment style, and there are some singles, doubles, and I think there's a quad in those. And then we have university courtyard apartments, which are also apartment style, but you're kind of, you're still Jack and Jill in the bathroom, so 2 of you, 2 of you, and 2 of you share a bathroom, and the other 2 share another bathroom. And then, of course, there's off-campus housing, who are just straight up apartments, and you can have your own personal space. I think, yeah, and then can you guarantee housing for all 4 years? There should be room for you. Typically, our upperclassmen don't want to live in the traditional residence halls after about sophomore year, junior year, like a little more independence. So that's why we have so many different options. You can move to one of the campus apartments or off-campus apartments. So yes, you can get housing if you want to for all 4 years.
From Malone, we have about 7 dorms on campus. We are a small institution. We have a guys dorm guys and girls that are both communal in style. The other ones are suite style. We do not have a freshman dorm, so you can, if you are a first year student, you're more than welcome to live in Blossom. That means nothing. You're able to live in a suite style apartment or suite style, dorm. We do have off-campus housing. If you live within the area, you're able to live off campus your first year. Then again, there are apartments, and we also have a lot of students who actually bring a lot of the historical homes around campus were absolutely beautiful. So it's like 5 of you to a house, and it's split to rent whatever that may be.
There was a question about how some of the colleges up here might be similar, and obviously I think every institution up here is a great school, but how do you decide which is the best place for you? And I think it comes down to finding the place that just has the best fit. Because each institution, while we have our own offerings and we are successful, they are different environments. And so I think being able to take advantage of the visits that you're making with your school, but also setting up individual visits where you can take time to walk around, talk to students who are on campus, talk with us one-on-one, so we can find out what you're passionate about, what you're interested in, and how that individually relates to our campuses. Because these all are great institutions. So it really comes down to that fit and finding where you feel comfortable and where you feel like you're going to be able to be successful. Because you've been successful as a high school student, so where can you go to feel like you're going to continue that success when you get into college?
I'm on the topic of visits, so I know you all visit Malone, but you're more welcome to come back on a Discover Day, which is when other schools from around the area come and they visit. We also do overnight stays. That would be at no cost to you. You would stay on the floor with a mentor or an honor student. You would stay in their dorm, go to class with them, or a class of your choice, whether it's major specific, and then you can attend a football game and just hang out on campus like you were a student. Again, that's not no cost to you. And we just go to malone.edu/visit. I saw a question here about campus security. Malone, we've never had a problem as far as like anything on campus. I think like the largest thing we had was petty theft, and they were actually students who committed those crimes and they were handled correctly. So there's something that I don't know if all institutions have. I'm assuming most of them. So Malone, we have an app called Pioneer Shield or 911 Shield. Again, there is a lot of lighting, I'm sure, on every campus that get to from class. If it's a larger stretch, there is like an emergency push button that will notify campus security. In Malone's case, because we're right around the corner from the police department, we'll notify them as well. But there is an app that we have, 911 Shield or Pioneer Shield. Say you want to go from one class to another, it might be a 7-minute walk. You type in that it's going to take 7 minutes to get there. If you're not there in 7 minutes, it will notify campus security and your parents. So I advise you to not stop and talk to anyone or tire shoe or anything like that. But there is awesome security on Malone's campus.
Campus was voted the 11th safest campus in the country by the USA News today. We actually have our own police department at the university that do their own investigations. One of the sure that everybody have like blue lights on campus, so that's a national thing. Those are like emergency phones on home where you can call for emergency, things like that. But of course now the way that technology is also that there are cameras everywhere. So what I think is to never think that you're not being watched out there anymore. So George Orwell, 1984, my brother is watching. So again, there is security. But again, security is only about as secure as you're going to be as you make yourself be. As you walk down the street, you can't. You have to make sure you have to look out for yourself. Always go on the same walking at night, never walk alone. Always partner up with somebody.
I'd like to jump in here too about campus security, and I always tell students, the same thing. You can get your laptop stolen in Youngstown, you get your laptop stolen in Oxford, Ohio. So you have got to be self-aware. But on the other hand, it's really bad for business if anything happens to our students. So all of us go out of our way, particularly our urban schools. I think Cleveland State United, we're probably the most urban schools. We're right in a city, a large city. All of us go out of our way to make sure that you are safe, it's a safe environment, and we all have, I think most of us have a campus police force. We have agreements with our local police that also patrol our campus. But we don't want to feel like a police state either. So it's kind of hard to balance those things. But even the residence halls, don't walk away and leave your room unlocked. Okay, I'm just going down the hallway to see my friend. That's fine. But we all tend to get a little over comfortable in our surroundings. So you just have to be aware all the time.
I think it's a requirement for all state schools to have a police department on their campus nowadays, so pretty much all of us will have a police department. We also have to post all of our crime statistics online. Cleveland State, we really encourage you, if you're worried about what happens on a college campus, to look at the crime statistics. They're all posted for each institution. We also have the Viking Shield app, which is actually one of our graduates from CSU that invented the Shield app that all the colleges use nowadays. But you can press a button, you can record video, you can text the police using this app. So if you're in a situation where you feel uncomfortable talking on the phone and calling a police officer, or in a situation where you couldn't do that, you can hit a button and it calls the police and gives them their location. You can text them from your phone, send a picture if you see vandalism happening, those type of things. So.
Hello, my name is Joseph. And a question I had was like, does your school have, not like a music program, but, because most schools have a music program, but like a recording or record engineering program, one specific?
YSU does have specifically music recording, music performance. We have the 7th oldest school of music in the country, the Dana School of Music. You do have to audition to get into the Dana School of Music, and by audition, you don't necessarily have to be a virtuoso, but you have to have some sort of music background, education, looking for some proficiency. And so we do offer music performance, music recording as a part of the music program at YSU.
What kind of music are you talking about?
Any kind of music really.
Okay, I mean, I'm just, because a lot of times, a lot of students never to recording industry, in terms of what to do that, but you can do both of them, can master that, basically start straight, start touch the words, and it's also touch the recording. You can major in music, and also where contemporary instrumental music, and that's some music theory also.
At the moment, we don't have, it's not called recording engineering, it's just music production. We do have recording sitting up on campus, which is available for student use. Malone actually has a couple albums, because music, like I said, education is huge on campus. So music education, whether that's education or production, this is huge. We actually had a Malone graduate in 2006. His name is Ron Robertson. He actually works with Atlantic Records now. He helped produce Bruno Mars. So ever since then, they've been on top of things.
Okay, is there any other questions that you didn't have a phone or an iPad to type in your question? Anything else? No? Good? Well, I'm just going to once again thank this great panel of experts. Let's give them a little round of applause here.